Quintessential Quintuplets was a manga slash anime that was so popular that it made almost 500k from a single movie in its first 3 days at the US box office. The US! So how did someone who did this
You didn't do that on purpose, did you?
go to make this? Well, we have to start from the beginning. Born in July 27 of 1991, Negi Haruba was interested in making manga since he was a child. Well, kinda, he gave up. Since when did you decide to become a mangaka? The first time I dreamed it was when I was in elementary school. But I gave up because it's hard to be successful. When I became a high school student, one of my friends showed a manga drawn by himself. I think it was good, so I draw mine. That's when I started to decide to become a mangaka. Interestingly, he was so determined to become a mangaka that, well, he graduated from that. He entered the Triton College of Design to the manga department. I didn't know you could study that in Japan. The more you know. But something I know is that you love anime, so why don't you subscribe? It's free. From there, he sent one-shots to manga magazines and he did amazing. So amazing that these two one-shots won big awards. And with that, he made a reputation for himself in the industry. In my opinion, for two biggest factors: his unique and impressive art style and his unique premises. And with those two, he came to help illustrate a new manga called Karma of Purgatory and play in the big leagues. This manga deals with serious topics like depression and all those topics I cannot talk about on YouTube. You can say it's just a stepping stone in Negi's career. But as I said, his art style stands out. He can definitely draw and depict graphic images so they can reflect the feelings the main character is feeling and do it great. It's so funny, he had a huge success with a harem manga and still do this kind of art. But hey, I guess that's every mangaka's lifestyle. Well, as I said, there is not much to talk about this manga because the story is not his. It's by Shun Hirose. I haven't read the whole thing, but if you read the first chapter, you realize, wow, it's one of those. But well, I guess the manga was axed because this one only lasted a year. But in that year, Negi had an idea for a one-shot that became a big hit. 5 Toubun no Hanayome. For fuck's sake! Quintessential Quintuplets is a harem manga that became really popular. I will dare to say that it is one of the best harems of recent times. And this is thanks to the major attributes that Negi has. Unique premise, great art style, and in this one, I will add how he developed the mystery. For those who have not seen or read it, the plot is as follows. We have Futaro, a guy who is poor and looking for a job, only to have the opportunity to teach 5 rich sisters who happen to be quintuplets. And well, the plot unfolds in how each of them gradually falls in love with him. A normal harem, right? Well, not exactly. Because if it was a normal harem, it wouldn't be this big. So why did it become so popular? For starters, Negi implemented just one detail that makes it interesting. And that's the fact that you know the protagonist will end up with one of them from the beginning. In the first episode, we get to see the bride, and all we know is that it could be any of the sisters. But why is this a big detail? Well, in my opinion, Negi took advantage of the mystery by dropping hints throughout the story for the viewer/reader to theorize about who Futaro will end up with. Oh, we know the bride does this. Oh, it's the first girl he met. Oh, it's etc, etc. When this was published weekly, you have no idea how many theories there were about this manga. 10-page documents analyzing, theorizing manga panels, dialogues, Twitter posts, just to know if the girl you supported was the one who Futaro will end up with. The only fan base I've ever seen this committed was Attack on Titan. The fuck? Negi implemented something that many harems didn't have: mystery. Obviously, it's not the only one using this resource, but he really takes advantage of this to make it entertaining throughout the arc. So I will say that was why it became so popular. Okay, the premise, the art style, and the mystery made it really popular. But is it a great manga? More or less. Negi has a few flaws that for some people could be bothersome. Although he made it interesting, Negi falls into the same old classic trope. And it doesn't help that the character characters are the same as other harems. Not at all, but they feel bland. Yes, they have their development, but they feel so cheap. The other flaw is the story itself. In many arcs, there is a lack of direction. So what Negi does is rely on gimmicks or devices to make the story entertaining. I really enjoy this manga. Not exclusively for the story, but because of the experience of the fanbase. Bro, reading theories and going to war with other factions was what it made it fun. But how does this affect Sentai Daishikkaku? Well, it's not uncommon for a mangaka to leave his comfort genres. In fact, I could say it's quite normal in the industry. You can take Hiromu Arakawa as an example. After making one of the most influential animes, Full Metal Alchemist, she went on to make comedies like Silver Spoon, and in both she excelled. So what about Negi? After making one of the most popular harems, he started his new work, Sentai Daishikkaku. Many people were intrigued given his tweet and the image he showed. What could it be about? Some said it could be another romantic anime, and others wanted to see something different until it was published. The plot of Ranger Reject, to put it in simple words, imagine The Boys and its plot on how we can see superheroes with more human actions like corruption and seeking popularity and etc. But instead of being superheroes, here they are Power Rangers. We have our main character who is part of a farce of being a supervillain and getting beaten up all the time. So he wants to get revenge and take down the Rangers. Nice premise, right? And with Negi's art style, this really stands out from any other manga and wants to get you interested. So is this going to be Negi's Magnus Opus? No. No. Unfortunately, Negi drags a lot of his flaws into this manga, and I will speak from my experience. It feels like this manga is looking to define itself. Even though it has a great premise and gets you invested, the enjoyment falls every chapter you read due to the lack of direction. Too many things are happening at the same time, and that's not bad, but he doesn't make it entertaining. He tries to include the ethical problem of what it is to be a hero, but he fails to develop it throughout the chapters, and instead he develops the mysteries of the secondary characters, forgetting the main one. And yes, sadly, our main character is not interesting at all. Don't get me wrong, I may sound harsh, but this manga has really good things that make it unique and enjoyable, and to be this popular, no doubt Negi is doing something right. Obviously, his development as a mangaka won't end here. This is just a stepping stone in his career to grow, and it's always interesting to see someone who got into another genre. Bro, it's really amazing that he can do this kind of stuff now. Let's hope in the future he doesn't go back to harems and keeps doing these great stories with good premises. But what do you think? Is Ranger Reject great? Do you like this manga? Write in the comment section. My name is S.Lynks, and I'll see you in the next one.